Konnichiwa. Would you like to expand your vocabulary and be able to speak more like a native speaker? Would you like to be able to make people more interested in what you have to say? Welcome to Jen's Jyugyou. My name is Jen, and today I'm going to teach you some very useful vocabulary to help you not only with speaking, but also with writing. The focus of today's lesson is the words said and told. So say and tell. I hear students overusing these words so much that I wanted to make a lesson about this to provide you with different and better ways of expressing these two words. So for example, he said sorry. He told me what to do. He said stop in an angry voice. He told me many times. Those 4 sentences are okay, but they're not great and they're very boring, just said and told. So the purpose of today's lesson is to increase your vocabulary so that you can use different words instead. For example, instead of he said that he was sorry, very short, very simple, he apologized. My other example, he told me what to do. Yes, of course, tell someone to do something is a great collocation, but always using this verb tell can be boring. So he commanded me to do my homework. He instructed me to answer the following questions. He dictated that I should be in bed by 10 o'clock. We can use those words instead of tell. Commanded, instructed, dictated. These are more interesting ways of saying the same thing. He said stop in an angry voice. This sentence is okay, but if you want to make your English more advanced, there are many other ways to do this. He shouted at me to stop. Stop, he yelled. Oh, you better stop right now. I can't believe it. Why aren't you stopping? He ranted. You better stop right now, he hissed. Stop! He exploded. Stop right there, he barked. Shouted, yelled, ranted, hissed, exploded, barked. These are different verbs that we can use instead of just saying, he said in an angry voice. The other sentence you could hear me say in the introduction was, he told me many times, or he kept telling me. We have a word for this in English too. If someone tells you something many times, for example, you really have to come to the party. You totally have to come to the party. You should definitely come to the party. You can say that they are insisting. Okay? So he insisted that I go to the party. How about if you are upset with something? You want to tell the manager of a store about your issue. You want to complain to them. So yes, you can use the verb complain. I complained to the manager versus I told the manager what my problem was. We also have another great verb that you can replace with tell or with complain, and this is the word voiced. So we use this together with usually concern or complaint, right? So he voiced his complaint or he voiced his concern. Next, if you want to tell a large group of people some kind of exciting news that you might have. Of course you could say, she told everybody her news. Or we can use more exciting verbs. So she announced that she was pregnant. In front of everyone, the bride and groom will say, I love you, I love you, right? Of course you could say the bride and groom said they loved each other, but a better word would be declare, right? They declared their love for each other. Okay? So declare and announce are to tell a large group of people something, but instead of saying we told a large group of people, we declared, we announced. A great collocation in English with the word secret is tell. We specifically will say tell a secret or he told a secret. But instead of just using the word tell, we can use more exciting words like he revealed a secret or he disclosed a secret. If somebody says to you, please, 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 many, many times because they want you to do something, there are two great verbs that you can use instead of saying, he said please many times. You can say, he pleaded with me, or he begged me. Please, 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 I'm begging you. Please, 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 I'm pleading with you. We talked about different expressions you could use, different verbs you could use, instead of saying, he said in an angry voice. How about, he said sadly? Why is this happening? He cried. Why don't I have any money? He sobbed. My life is terrible, he sighed. You can sigh sadly. My life is terrible. Or you can sigh happily. I'm in love, he sighed. Now, I want to show you a few verbs that you can use to talk about the way someone might say something if they are scared. I think I see a ghost, he whispered. I think I see a ghost, he stuttered, or he stammered. So stutter and stammer are both very similar. It's when you become scared or you have a speech problem and you speak kind of like this. Maybe if you're cold, you might speak that way too, stuttering or stammering. It's a ghost, he gasped. So gasp is when you take air in like, because you are surprised or shocked by something. That's amazing, he gasped. Another way you might speak if you are really scared or if you are a lazy speaker is when you kind of speak under your breath so people cannot hear you. You're not speaking clearly. So if I'm speaking like this, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I don't know why I'm going to do this. I'm not really sure where I'm going. So right now, you could not hear what I said very clearly because I was mumbling. So when someone says something that you can't understand because they're speaking low and under their breath, right? I am mumbling. You could also use the verb mutter. If someone says something with a lot of pride, so for example, I got a new job, I'm super rich, I bought a new car. They are boasting. I got a new job, he boasted. You ask a question. And there's a couple of different verbs that you can use instead of ask to really advance your English skills. He asked me a lot of things at the job interview. He questioned me on many points during our discussion. He inquired about my job history. If somebody's asking you to do something, so they're not looking for information, they're looking for an action, right? Of course you could say, he asked me to do the dishes, or he commanded me to do the dishes. Remember command if someone's very strongly telling you to do something? But if you are politely asking someone, you can use the verb requested. I request that you subscribe to my channel. I'm not commanding you to subscribe to my channel, but I am requesting it. A great way for you to practice using the verbs from today's lesson is by using them together with a grammar point called reported or indirect speech. If you would like more information on reported or indirect speech, I made a video about that, which you can check out over here. Today, you learned many different verbs that you can use instead of just using say and tell, right? So said and told, those are great verbs, but if you always only use those two verbs, your English is never going to advance more. And you want your English to advance more, or you wouldn't be watching videos about English on YouTube. So please try using the vocabulary from today's lesson. In fact, for today's question of the day, what I'm asking you to do is please make some sentences using the verbs from today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it useful, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any English lessons, and give this video a thumbs up. Mina, benkyo, ganbatte ne!